Hi, thanks for tuning in. If you've read this morning's gospel passage, you'll know that it begins with the words, "The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee." Now, when I hear something like this, I need to know what happened on that day before. And it turns out that the Gospel of John keeps saying the next day, the next day. So we got to go back to the beginning. I promise I'll be quick. John the Baptist is preaching and teaching and baptizing and is asked, are you the Messiah? Are you a prophet? What's your reason for doing this? And he says, I am the voice of one crying out in the wilderness. Make straight the way of the Lord, as the prophet Isaiah said. And then he says, I'm baptizing with water, and among you stands one whom I don't know, but that's the one who's coming after me. And then we get our first the next day. The next day, he, John the Baptist, saw Jesus coming towards him and declares, Here is the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world. This is the guy I've been talking about. And it turns out, in between the last scene and now, Jesus got baptized by John the Baptist. And John the Baptist says, I didn't know who he was, but I saw the Spirit descending from heaven like a dove on him, and it remained on him. And I myself have seen and have testified that this is the Son of God. And then we get another next day. And this next day, John again was standing with two of his disciples. And Jesus walks by and he says to his disciples, Hey, that's the guy I've been waiting for. That's the guy I'm talking about. You should follow him, not me. And they do. They follow Jesus, and Jesus noticed them following him, and he says, What are you looking for? And they respond, Rabbi, which translated means teacher, where are you staying? And Jesus says to them, Come and see. And that's the beginning of their relationship. One of the two heard John speak, followed him, was Andrew, Simon Peter's brother. And then he finds Simon and says, We've found the Messiah. So that's the next day that our passage this morning is talking about. The next day, Jesus decided to go to Galilee. He found Philip and said to him, Follow me. Now, Philip was from Bethsaida, which is the city of Andrew and Peter, so we're gathering these disciples together. And then Philip goes and finds Nathanael and says, We've found him about whom Moses in the law and also the prophets wrote, Jesus, son of Joseph from Nazareth. Nathanael replies with some attitude. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? And Philip, even though he wasn't there, echoes Jesus' words. Come and see. And it's that come and see that I want to spend just a moment on right now. Come and see is the great invite for those who follow Jesus. It is in many ways what is really meant in the Great Commission. It is an invite to say both, this is something that's really, really important to me. This is something that has changed my life. But don't take my word for it. Come and see. See what you experience from this. What do you see from this community? What do you see in this hope? Where do you see God? Come and see for yourself. Decide for yourself. That invitation is what is so critical to the way that we're supposed to be Christians. It is not a declaration that we are to make everyone believe like we do, or even join our little group. But in the invitation to come and see, one can experience for themselves. I can speak all I want and all I possibly can, and even show pictures from things that I've experienced. But you're not going to ultimately experience what I have. You have to see it for yourself. You have to take it in, and you might take different things in. You might not even choose to stay, but at the very least, you can come to some understanding as why it's important to me, and maybe that way learn a little bit more about who I am. and the community that I'm part of. Come and see is the great invite of the gospel. It doesn't promise that you will be a disciple. It doesn't promise that you're going to be part of the community. But what it does say is a genuine invite to experience something for yourself. And maybe, just maybe, you'll find the holy. Thanks be to God. Thanks for joining me. Bye.